Yeah, welcome. In this lecture, we will see how to determine the stability of the given transistor by using K delta test and mu test, and then plot the stability circles on Smith chart. So these are the given S parameters, scattering parameters. So S11, S12, S21 and S22 are given. Now first of all, we have to determine the stability of the transistor by using K delta test. So we'll calculate delta. In such problems, what we'll do to simplify our calculation, we'll store these S parameters in this calculator as A, B, C, D. So A will be by S11. So 0.869 angle minus 159 is stored to A. Okay, now I will enter S12. So 0.031 angle minus 9 as B. Ensure that your calculator is in degree mode. Now S21 is 4.25 angle 61 and I am storing it in C. Now the next one is last one, that is 0.507 and angle minus 117, that I am storing as D. So I have stored S11 as A, S12 as B, S21 as C and S22 as D. So we'll calculate delta first. Now delta will be A into D minus B into C. So that I will calculate. So alpha A into alpha D, one bracket, this is nothing but S11 into S22 minus alpha B to alpha C. Yeah. Now I will convert this into a rectangular format. So it turns around to be 0.336 and angle 95.98. So we'll write over here delta as 0.336 angle 95.98. Now I'll calculate K. So to calculate K, I will calculate numerator and denominator separately. So numerator I am calculating as 1 minus, now this is absolute of A. So absolute alpha A square minus absolute B square, S22 is nothing but D square plus, and just now I calculated delta as 0.336. So that I will type 6 square. So it turns out to be 0.11100,686, and I will divide this by 2 into mod of S12 and S21. So 0.031 into 4.250. So it turns around to be 0.382. Now we have to verify whether the K delta condition is satisfied or not. Now for transistor to be unconditionally stable, mod of delta should be less than 1 and K should be greater than 1. But here this K is less than 1, whereas the mod of delta is less than 1. So this condition is getting satisfied, whereas this condition is not getting satisfied. So your transistor is not unconditionally stable. so it is potentially unstable. So we have to calculate, or we have to plot the output stability circle and input stability circle on Smith chart. So now how to calculate this center of the output stability circle, CL. So CL is given as S22 minus delta S11 complex conjugate, the whole complex conjugate, divided by mod of S22 square minus mod of delta square. So the same thing, so this denominator repeats over here, but the numerator is S12 and S21. On similar line, we can write down the expression for the center of the input stability circle, that is CS. So by changing 2 to 1 and 1 to 2, one can write down the formula for the CS. So it is S11 minus delta S22 star whole complex conjugate divided by S11 square minus mod of delta square. So again the same thing will get repeated in the denominator for RS. So it is S11 square minus mod of delta square, and the numerator is S12 into S21. So we'll calculate this thing. So after calculation, this CL turns out to be 1.59 angle 132 degree, while RL turns out to be 0.915. Similarly for CS and RS, we obtain the value of 1.09 angle 162 degree, and RS turns out to be 0.205. The radius will be a real number, while the center CL and CS, they will be the complex number. Now we'll plot these on the Smith chart and we'll see which is the stable region and unstable region. So we'll proceed for the Smith chart plotting. So I'll keep these values aside and now we'll proceed for the Smith chart plot. So this is your Z Smith chart, and now I have to plot these values of CL, RL, and I have to plot the output stability circle. Now CL is 1.59 angle 132 degree. So on Smith chart, here it is 0 degree, so somewhere over here you will get 90 degree, 130 and 140 over here. So between 130 and 140 there are 4 lines, so each subdivision is of 2 degree. So 132 degree will be over here. So I marked the angle 132 degree. Now I have to mark this magnitude of the CL, that is 1.59. So for that we have to take the scale from this lower edge 1.59. So it is 1.58 and 1.59. So you can mark the center CS over here, sorry, CL over here. So this is nothing but CL. Now the radius for the output stability circle is 0.915. So I will take that 0.915. So it is around 0.92. I've taken 0.92, and from this center we'll draw this circle. So this is radius RL. and this is my output stability circle. Now we'll plot the input stability circle on a similar line, but for input stability circle the radius is 1.09 and angle is 162 degree. So let us mark the angle first, that is 162 degree. So here it is 160, 170, so 162 is somewhere over here. It is over here. So angle 162 degree I have marked. Now it is the magnitude is 1.09. So 1.09. So just between 1.08 and we will get this 1.09. So here this is nothing but the center CS. Now the radius is 0.205. So we'll take 0.205. We'll make it 0.21, almost 0.21. And we'll draw this input stability circle. So this is my input stability circle. Now one has to identify the stable and unstable region. So when you look at the S11, its magnitude is less than 1, even the magnitude of S22 is less than 1. That means the portion containing the center of the Smith chart is stable. So the intersection of these stability circles and the Smith chart results into unstable region. So first of all I will mark the unstable region over here. So this region is unstable for gamma S. Unstable for gamma S. And this region this is unstable for gamma L, whereas the common region is unstable for both gamma S and gamma L. So in the next lecture we will solve one more numerical on the stability circle. Thank you.